my life around this bright idea. I built my life around this insight I found. Hello and be welcome to another episode of Let's Develop Bright Ideas. So here's a scenario I find myself in quite frequently. I'm working on a task and I happen to finish that task like an hour or half an hour to closing time. Which means it's not yet late enough to go home, and I just finished the task, which means I'm probably quite enthusiastic because I just finished the task, right? And what happens to me, or what I do more often than not, is jump onto the next task in the project and just try to get the next thing done. And what happens, you might guess, is that either I do overhours because the task is much longer or more complex than the 30 minutes to 60 minutes that I have left of the day, or I go home at a certain point, probably after closing time, and I feel bad about not finishing the task because it was more complex. And then I spend the evening or even the weekend, or worst of all, my vacation with this task sitting in the back of my head saying, you could have finished me, you could have easily finished me, I'm unfinished work on your workplace, and I hate that kind of feeling. So what I try to do, and whenever I succeed, it actually feels quite good, is whenever I have like half an hour to 1 hour of time left at the end of the day, I come back to all these things I scribble down on my piece of paper which I have on the desk. You know, I talked about that, the one where I scribble down whenever I see something that requires my attention in general, but not just now. And I try to pick some of the smaller tasks like tiny refactoring, little cleanup, renaming stuff, or something like that. Tasks I'm absolutely sure I can finish in like 5 to 30 minutes. And I try to finish these tasks, which results in two things. First thing, I'm really done with the task I'm working at the end of the day, which is great because then I can spend the evening or weekend more relaxed. And I get something done that's out of the way that I don't have to do the next week, which makes me feel even better than I felt after just finishing the first task. So essentially, I think what I'm trying to do is use the leftover time of the day for the really tiny tasks where I'm absolutely certain I can finish them in time. And the result is that I go home more happily and come back more happily on the next day to actually work on the next feature. Okay, that's already it for today. If you like that idea, give me a thumbs up. If you have ideas, comments, or critique, just drop me a message, send me a comment, let me know what you think, and I hope to see you next week.